Hello, my lovelies. It's been a while since I made a video, and today I'm going to talk about a subject that I've stayed away from, a subject I usually stay away from, but I have to talk to you about this. And it's about, because of all the things that you see, the wars and the lies. So let me straighten a few things out here today, and I'm going to talk about that place in the desert in the Middle East, which is not real. They tell you that it's real, but it's not real. And the people from there, they say there's been a dispute whether these people are a race or whether they are a religion. And something that cropped up recently as well, that I've heard some of them talk about white people. So now, what are they saying? That they're a colour as well? Because look at the colour of my legs, yeah? I'm darker than they are. They call me white. And they're something which is not white. Now, they say, some say it's a religion, right? I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a religion. It's a history of a series of events which most likely did not happen. And what are these series of events? David killed Goliath. We know that they killed the giants. But whether that story is true, who knows? But it's a historical account of an event. They say Moses opened the Red Sea and we all walked through, and then when Pharaoh tried to come through after us, he closed it and they all drowned. And if you go out now, you can go down and dive down and you'll see a load of bicycle wheels down there and say, look, it's true. An event. And there are more events, but I'm not going to go through them all. But it's not a religion. It's just a historical series of events which didn't happen. Now, are they a race? Their current King Herod, the guy that currently holds the title of King Herod, and we all know what Herod is famous for, and he's doing it again today. Bibi. Bibi, not a Yahoo. I wouldn't say he's not a Yahoo. He's definitely a fucking Yahoo. Bibi, not a Yahoo, is whiter than I am. So, if he's a member of this race, and so was fucking Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy Davis Jr. was one of them. Whoopi Goldberg. BB not a Yahoo. So how the fuck can they be a race? They can't be a race. And if they are a colour, then they're the enemy of themselves because they're fucking whiter than I am. Yeah, look, I got myself a new pair of loafers. After donkey's years, I got myself a new pair of fucking loafers because, and I just took them out of the box, and they are brilliant. 12 bucks, right? But look at my old ones. Now, I did ask a friend of mine, what did he think? Did he think I had much more life left in these? He says no. He says no. They're. I don't want to use any bad language or anything, but he did say they're fucked, right? So after wearing them for 20 years, look at that, they're fucking totally fucked, right? This girlfriend I had once said I had lovely feet. Anyway, I got rid of her. But anyhow, let me get back to what I was talking about, right? I know how to take these people down. I'm going to tell you at the end. But they are name stealers and they are land thieves, right? I mean, God could have given them Canada. What the fuck was he doing giving them a load of desert where you could not grow a fucking carrot in? But anyhow, and in this piece of desert, the Roman Church conjured up three religions and planted them all in the same square meter of desert, right? Now, Mr. Not a Yahoo, Mr. Bibi Not a Yahoo, he's a Lithuanian Pole, Poland-Lithuanian border area. This is where they came from. They are the Khazars. And they changed their names. They stole names for themselves, making themselves sound more Hebrewic, if that's a word. Yeah? And let me tell you about Mr. Notayahu Bibi. His original family name was Melikovsky. So they changed their names to sound more Middle Eastern and fake their way into the 20th and the 21st century and fuck everything up for everybody. But he's not the only one. Let me go back through here now. Lots of different famous people from this place, which is not real, and what their original names were. Now, you all remember Ehud Barak, former Prime Minister, former title holder of the title King Herod, doing what King Herod was, if we all know our Bible, we know what King Herod was famous for. The current title holder is Melikovsky Bibi, but one of the previous ones was Ehud Barak, and they changed their name from Brog. I don't know what that name is, Brog, or where it came from. There's another called Ben Gurion. There's an airport called after him over there in that place that is not real. And Mr. Ben Gurion's family changed their names from Gruen, Gruen, Gruen. I told you that Bibi's family name was Melikovsky. There was another one called Moshe Sharat. Moshe Sharat held the title of King Herod. They changed their names from Chertok. Chertok. Where the fuck does that name come from? There was another King Herod title holder called Levi Eshkol. They changed their names from Shklonik. Shklonik. What a name that is. Shklonik. There was another one called Yigal Alon. And he didn't change it, but his father or his grandfather or whatever, this all happened around by the time of World War I or beforehand, while the Balfour Declaration was being formulated. So Yigal Alon, they changed their name from Pejkovits, all Eastern Europeans, all Khazars from the Ashkenazi background, yes? And then, of course, you remember Golda Meir. Golda Meir was the only female Prime Minister of Israel. Now, back in the 80s, when I was in a hotel in London one night, I got chatting to some people, Jewish people from Israel, is not real. Nice people, real nice people. I didn't know much about the world politics at the time, I can tell you that. But this guy, after a few drinks and talking to me, he told me that this woman, Golda Meir, was a very evil woman. I remembered that. And then, of course, as years went on, I discovered that many other members of this race, colour, religion had infiltrated politics in basically every country in the world. Not just politics, but banking, the judiciary. Golda Meir, they changed their name from Mabovich. Oh, bitches. I fucking wasp. Fuck off. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. I hate wasps. And you all remember Yitzhak Rabin. Yitzhak Rabin was another title holder. And his family name was Rubitsov. Name stealers. What? And then there was another one called Yitzhak Shamir. And Yitzhak Shamir's family were called Yezernitsky. And then there was another one called Shimon Peres. They changed their name from Persky. And then there was that demon, Ariel Sharon, who was in a coma for 7 years. And he was in a coma for 7 years because the agents of the Universal Lord of Justice did not know what to do with him. That's something that I've read in Vedic literature. Vedic literature, Sanskrit Vedic literature. That when someone is in a coma for that long, is because the agents of the Lord of Justice don't know what to do with him. He's that fucking bad. But Shimon Peres, they changed their family name from Persky. Not Shimon Peres, yeah, Persky. The one I was talking about here was Ariel Sharon, the one that was in the coma. They changed their name from Shinerman. Shinerman! Yeah. Now, many Hollywood actors as well also came from this region, changed their names. And I was looking up the other day the famous cowboy actor Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas was born Isur Danielovich in New York in 1916. He was from Belarus. And he changed his name in the 20s to Izzy Dembski. And then in the 30s, he changed his name to Kirk Douglas. Entered the US Navy for World War II and became a spy for basically that spy agency that now runs that place over there. Yeah? Now, the what do you call them? The friggin', there was another one called Yair Lapid. They changed their name from Lampel. And we all know those that brought about the Bolshevik revolution and started communism off in Eastern Europe and created the Soviet Union, stole many countries. Everybody knows them as Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin. Well, Lenin, his name was changed from Ulyanov, another name stealer. Oh, got a cramp in my toe. Ow! Trotsky, he changed his name into Trotsky. His original family name was Bernstein, like Bernstein and Bernstein. That computer that wrote all that music back in the 50s and 60s. And then Stalin himself, he changed his name from Djoukashvili. He was a Georgian, as you probably all well know, not a Russian. It's always a bad idea. I made a video on this once way back a few years back. When a foreigner takes over your country, it's always a bad idea. You're fucked. Yeah? So, war by deception. These people wage war by deception. Now, do you remember a month back or a month or two back, the Don, President Donald Trump in the White House humiliated the South African Prime Minister. He brought him over, sat him down, put a big TV screen up and showed him the massacre and the genocide that was taking place with the white South Africans. Oh, I didn't know this was happening. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, this. I've been following this guy for friggin' 40 years. I remember him involved in South African politics 40 years ago. And his posh accent. No, we didn't know. We didn't know. And the president's going, look at all the gravestones. Look at all those gravestones along both sides of the road. Absolutely humiliated in the White House. So, I recently saw 3 videos of Mileikowski Bibi, not a Yahoo, right? And they're on the internet, somewhere on YouTube, and you can easily find them if you go looking for them. And one of them is not a Yahoo, Mileikowski Bibi, in a family surrounding, saying that his purpose is to strip America of every dollar and every cent it has and take it all of them and take it back to his homeland. That's one video. And that was in a family surroundings he was saying this. The other video I saw was of Mileikowski Bibi, not a Yahoo, speaking with some rabbis, probably 25, 30 years ago. And the rabbi is instructing him that he must bring on Armageddon so that the Messiah will return, tasking him with starting World War III and destroying the world to get rid of us, keep their color or their race or their series of events, so-called religion, and their 7 Hyde Noah laws, and take over the world and get rid of the rest of us. A rabbi instructing him to go out and bring on Armageddon. He says, yeah, I'm going to do that for you. And the third video is where he's standing up and he's saying that he gave millions of dollars to Hamas, paying them to launch the attack on him so that he could start World War III, bring on Armageddon, and while everybody's looking in that direction, stripping America of all its money. So, Mr. Donald Dre Trump, please invite Bibi Netanyahu Mileikowski to your White House. Stick the same TV screen up on the wall, pull these 3 videos off the internet, show them to him, show them to the American people, and show it to the world's press. I guarantee you that that regime would be fucking gone by tonight. The problem is that the world doesn't know. The world has not been told of the real intentions of these name stealers and land thieves, because they're watching CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and they're not telling you. So if they're not telling you, then it didn't happen. Look at this oak tree. That's a great hanging tree, that is, for hanging things off of. So, can you get the gist of what I'm saying? If the Don was to do this and humiliate Bibi Netanyahu Mileikowski in front of the world's press, the American people, and and his entourage as well that he had in the room the same day that he humiliated the South African Prime Minister. Put the same TV screen on the wall, same chair, same seats, same situation. Show the world what's going on and end this shit immediately, because the world would erupt if this happens. These people are not real. The place they come from is not real. The history of the Khazars, the cannibals that they are, has to be brought forward in order to end these conflicts. Get them to get kicked out of the banking system. Get all the countries in the world to kick them out of their political system. To drag them out of their posts in the judiciary, try them and lock them up forever. Now there's another one I've been looking at, is the guy that told Zelensky not to end the war, but to keep on fighting, and that was that mop-headed fucking drongo who was British Prime Minister, Boris. Now Boris is another Khazar. He's another, is not really, and he's from somewhere around the Turkish-Armenian border. His family came in from and changed their names to Johnson. But I still haven't been able to figure out what his original family name was yet. But they have infiltrated the political system in every country in the world, the banking system and the judiciary, and they hold and control the purse strings. They're planning to strip America of every cent it has. They're paying their enemies to attack them, and they're acting on the instructions of sick, old, dumb, idiotic, crazy, what's the word for them? Religious fanatics who don't have a religion. But anyway, they're all in on it together. The hidden hand is the Holy Roman Empire. But those, let me put it this way, the Jesuits, the communists, the fascists, the nasties, the Zedists, they're all the same gang. They're ganging up on us. They pretend to be different. They pretend to be in conflict with one another. But in fact, they work together to fuck us, the people, up. So, meditate on this, people. Giving you the facts. And I'll get back to you with another video soon, because I have another one planned. Them horses are eating for free. They don't have to pay for their food. They don't have to go to work, pay their taxes, pay for their food. Every species on the space of this earth, on the face of this earth, is given all the food that it needs. We're the only ones with a fucking economic crisis, and we got to get after these people that caused it. I'm going to end it here. Much love. I love you all.